Are you looking to become a goalie and you don't know which hand you want to hold the stick in? I got 3 quick ideas that might help you figure out which hand you should play with. One thing that makes being a goalie very, very different from being a player is that your equipment will decide what kind of, what hand you'll hold the stick in, what kind of play you'll have, right? It's very easy. Let's say if you started playing hockey and you're holding it in a right-handed grip and you switch it to a left. None of your gear changes except for your stick and your brain. But as a goalie, you have to get special equipment depending on which hand you're playing with. So you have 2 options. There's regular, which is much more common, and that is where you hold the stick in your right hand with the blocker, and you catch the puck in your left hand with your catching glove, which would be here if this wasn't on. But anyway, so that's the regular. If you are full right, it is opposite. Your blocker will be on your left hand, and you'll hold the stick that way, and your glove will be on the right hand, and that's how you'll catch the puck. So with that, right, you kind of have to make that decision of what way you're going to go, and sometimes that has an easy answer, and sometimes you're not sure. So hopefully, my 3 tips will be able to help you figure out exactly which hand you should be playing with. My first tip is probably one of the easiest ones for me personally, is which hand are you going to hold the stick with? For me, very easy. I come from a lacrosse background, and I also played a little bit of hockey before as a player. I played right-handed, and in lacrosse, I play right hand. Right hand is in control of everything. Face-offs, obviously, as well as also just ground ball cradling, single-handed cradling, all happens in my right hand. So switching to hockey, and especially switching to goalie, it made sense. Stick goes in my right hand. So for me, that was an easy option, right? Regular was easy. However, so with that, if you think that your strong hand is the best option for holding the stick, that's the way to go. That's just what's going to feel most natural to you. It's going to make the most sense, right? So again, regular, I'm going to hold in my right hand. Full right, I'm holding it in my left. So again, that's an easy option. But if you're unsure about that one, or if that one feels a little bit weird, my next tip is which hand is catching. So again, as a regular sighted goalie, holding the stick here, I'm catching the puck with my left hand, which means I got my catching glove. The way I figured this out was, one, I figured out which hand I want to hold the stick, but also I figured out from the 2 times I'd played baseball in my life, I had my glove on my left hand. I throw with my right hand, so it made sense to catch with my left hand. Again, it just made sense to have it in my left hand, and it just made the most sense to my body, right? So if you're much more focused on how you're going to be playing the puck that way, that's a huge one. I think that will help be a deciding factor. So again, if you catch like a ball or something with your left hand more often, probably going to be a regular sided goalie. Just makes more sense. If you're catching a little more with your right hand, right, going for things more up here, I would say go full right. And my last one, and this one kind of can be, again, just another way, is how are you going to play with your stick, right? Just because you're holding this thing in your hand doesn't always mean that you're right. That doesn't mean it might be the best. It might make sense holding it, but how about playing it? So this was the one thing that I had to actually deal with. This is the one thing that I had to compromise on, right? It made sense to hold the stick in my right hand. It made sense to catch the puck in my left hand. That meant I had to play the stick left-handed. Let me tell you what I mean. As a regular goalie, when you go to play the puck, your right hand is going to be on top, right? Your left hand will then be on the stick, and that is how you will pass, right? So you'll be looking like this. Let's see if I can get it in front. You'll be looking like this as you make your passes, right? Whereas, this is your catching hand, this is your blocker on a full right, this is how it will look. It's the same mechanics, right? As a right-handed person, this makes more sense to me. It makes sense to hold it down here. But because I play with my stick in my right hand, this is the optimal way, right? Because remember, the curve always faces away from the goalie, right? So if you're regular, you're going to have a left-handed stick. Your stick is going to be the same as if you were a left-handed player. And vice versa, if you're a full right goalie, your stick will be much more like a right-handed stick. And it makes it very weird. Goalies had to make everything weird. That's why this video even exists. So again, if you think that mechanic-wise, that's going to be something important to you, really think about that. Really consider how, if holding your stick is more important than how you're going to play the stick, or if playing the stick is more important than holding the stick. So I do believe that you can learn either way. When I teach lacrosse, I teach my players to be able to use their offhand and their dominant hand, because it just, one, it adds a level to their game. Two, it's really good skill to have in general. So you can always train yourself, but if it's your first time playing, you want to be comfortable, you want to be ready to go, and you're trying to figure out which way to go. These are some of the tips. My number one, like the best tip I can give though, try it out. Go to the store. If you're borrowing gear from someone or from the rink, just try it out and learn it, right? I was fortunate enough, again, to have a background in a certain sport of lacrosse that helped me kind of figure out how I wanted to do it. I had to learn how to play the puck differently than I was used to, but again, with lacrosse, using my left hand, it worked out. But I would say, though, go try them out. Go, if you can make your way out to a hockey store, like, try out both the left and the right sticks. Try out the blockers, what feels comfortable, right? Like, just mess around with it. Just hold it. Pretend you're playing the puck. You don't have to be right, but those are ways to figure it out. If you only get one side, if you're borrowing gear, if there's only some sides available, go with that. Just learn it. I think you'll have a lot more fun just learning and playing rather than worrying too much about how you should be doing it. It's easier to learn it if you just are willing to learn. So, but I hope this helped. I get it. I get asked this question a lot sometimes when I'm at Play It Again. People are like, well, which way should I hold it? And it's really up to you. At the end of the day, I can't tell you what the right or wrong way to hold it, because there is none. But hopefully you can take these tips and figure out how to do it the right way. And for all my goalies that in my comments that have been playing before, if you have any ways that also would help, by all means, let us know, because you never know. You might help someone out. So anyway, that'll be it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.